Hi guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and today I'll be discussing Season 3, Episodes 4 through 6, A Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Now to start off with the reviews, I have to say that these past 3 episodes, A Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, have been so emotionally heavy, mostly because they're exploring the topic of mental health in a way that's so relatable. Even if you don't have what Rebecca has, it's still relatable to a lot of people. Because what she does have is from research, is one of the most common disorders that a person could have. But we'll get into that because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched episode 6 of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So I'll get to that. But if you are here just wanting to know my thoughts on all 6 episodes and don't want, not 6 episodes, all 3 episodes, but don't want any spoilers, I'll start out by saying they were really good, they're really emotionally heavy, so get a box of tissues. I made the mistake of watching episode 5 at my work, and I swear, I was just over here like, I want to cry, I can't cry, I don't want my coworkers to see me cry, but the ending of that episode just crushed me to where I had to go to the bathroom and take a minute for myself, because my god, was the ending of that episode so unexpected. Because I didn't think they were gonna go there, but at the same time, I'm glad that they're exploring the mental health aspect of this in a way that's relatable to so many people. We'll get to that whenever we get to the episode 5. First, we'll start on the most, I wouldn't say fun of the episodes, but it's definitely less emotionally heavy than most of the other episodes. This is what I call Rebecca's downward spiral episode. Because everything's out in the blue. Everyone knows about what she did with Josh. Everyone knows about what happened between her and Robert. Thanks to Josh, which, by the way, I want an episode where they address that, because this guy cannot get away with having someone's personal medical information and not get anything but a single slap to the face for it. Well, metaphorical slap to the face, because goddamn, that last moment with him in episode 6 makes me so happy. Because finally he probably realizes that he fucked up. But we'll talk about that when we talk about episode 6. So, episode 4. They're hosting an intervention for Rebecca, and then Rebecca, feeling like she's backed in a corner, starts throwing out all this shade to everyone. She addresses the fact that Heather can't graduate college because she's too afraid to be out there in the real world like a normal adult. She addresses the fact that Daryl's boyfriend doesn't want to have a baby with him, and he's so blind that he can't even see it because everyone else can except him, and she tells him to wake up to that fact. And she, I think the one I got the most offended with, because I knew where she was going with Paula from the moment she started this tried, was, the one that I just wanted to slap her in the face for was when she tells Valencia, and what kind of person pushes their dream wedding onto someone else just because someone else won't want to marry them. And I'm just like, wow, that's really harsh. I know that Valencia is rather self-centered, but with a boyfriend for 10 years like Josh Chan, I don't blame her. Josh is a very self-centered person. Valencia was kind of self-centered until, she started being more friendly. I like Valencia post Josh Chan. I'm glad that Valencia is finally in a good place in her life. in her life, but damn, did that hurt even me when Rebecca told her that. And of course, she said something to Nathaniel, I can't remember. By the way, how cute are Rebecca and Nathaniel being right now? Like, new OTP, seriously, I love Greg and Rebecca. I think I'll always have a place in my heart for Greg and Rebecca, but oh my god, Nathaniel and Rebecca, these past 3 episodes, there hasn't been a lot of interaction between the two, but how much he just simply wants to talk to her, opposed to Josh, who never wants to talk to her again, or only wants to talk to her whenever it's useful to him, or makes him feel less guilty. Like, Josh really pisses me the fuck off. I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Wrong with you? Yeah. Yeah, she said something to Nathaniel, I can't remember, and then she turns to Paula and says, and you gotta be the worst of them all. If I was crazy, you made me crazier. And then she reveals everything that Paula has ever done to make her crazy. And then she says, stop calling me Cookie, I hate that name. Hate that name. You're only treating me like a daughter because you can't fix your own family, and that sucks. Sucks, but stop taking your crappy mother parenting out on me and your crappy marriage. I'm like, oh, she went there. So she severs ties with basically everyone she has there. She goes and hides out in a hostel for them to basically leave her alone. And then she meets this guy. I don't remember what his name is, sorry to all the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend fans out there, but she meets this guy in the hostel, and they're talking about one of the actresses in Swim Band, and how her performance was just so awesome, and how she was robbed of an Academy Award since she's such a great actress. And then Rebecca, of course, wants to hurt Josh Chan just the way he hurt her. And at this point, I really do get the whole I want to hurt him like he hurt me aspect of Rebecca, because we don't know about her condition yet. She can't get the proper treatment for her condition yet that she needs. So she's going full on crazy in this. She's dressing up as a plant, stalking Josh, hanging dolls. But in this hostel, we get this song called Sexy Crazy Lady, or I believe it's something along that aspect. And this whole episode is Halloween / Swim fan dedicated because it was the Halloween episode of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Which I like. I like how they saved this episode for the Halloween episode, because if they save the emotionally heavy shit for Halloween, this would be a very depressing Halloween for me. But they did that. And she's basically stalking Josh. Josh is at his parents' house because where else would Josh go out and hide after he basically ruined someone else's life, thinking that he did an intentionally good thing, which, bro, even if you were intentionally doing a good thing, or at least you think you were, her past is none of your business, and that's none of your business to share her past with everyone, especially mental health records. Like, I'm glad that decision got Rebecca help she needed, but still, it wasn't his decision to make that decision for her. For another reason why I don't like Josh, it's just like, Josh is a terrible boyfriend. I wouldn't say he's, like, the most terrible person I've ever met. Yeah, he's selfish, and he's self-centered, and he doesn't care a lot about anyone except himself. But I have met a lot of worse people than Josh Chan, I personally think. think. But, oh god. Like, him in that this last episode, though, I just wanted to, like, literally smack the shit out of his face and maybe just slap back on his fucking brain or something. But, like, Rebecca terrorizes Josh, does the whole phone calls and other stuff, dresses up as a bush, does this little rustle thing in the bushes, hangs a doll in his closet, and then she does this thing which I wasn't really down for, but she quote-unquote kidnaps Josh's mother, which I don't get why he said you kidnapped my mom when, one, if she would have kidnapped your mom, bro, your mom probably wouldn't be as happy as she was seeing her. She was just hanging out with her, but she did have bad intentions going into seeing your mom, so I totally get why he was pissed about that. But at the same time, the carnival scene, she was pushing him, he was pushing her, and then finally he was just all like, "Where's my mom, Rebecca? Rebecca, where have you taken her? I never want to see you again." Yada yada, and then she almost falls into this construction hole thing, which I'm like, I'll give Josh this, at least he didn't let her fall in there. I don't think she would have died per se, been really injured maybe, but Dad, I don't know. Comment down below and let me know what you think, if she would have died or not falling down that hole. I mean, the impact probably would have killed her, but after he saves her, which thank God he did, he finally decides to at least try. Like, Rebecca's all like, your mom's right over there, I would never actually intentionally hurt your mom. Your mom, all I wanted to do was for you to talk to me like a normal adult. I wanted us to have a normal discussion, so could we please have a normal discussion now? Which, I get where Rebecca's coming from. Like, she doesn't want to hear why you left her at an altar through an email. Via email, Josh. She wants to know why you decided to run away. If you felt uncomfortable, like you didn't want to marry her after you proposed to her, or if you just weren't ready, you should have just been like upfront and told her about it. Rebecca, I think, is a very understanding person, and this is where I knew for sure that Josh and Rebecca were not gonna work, because Josh is not good at effectively communicating with Rebecca, or understanding why Rebecca would do any of these things. Like, she's very hurt, and you could tell that she's very hurt by the decisions that Josh has made in the past few episodes. If anything, I think he has a genuine problem, too. I think he should talk to someone about his narcissism a little bit. Because it's very unhealthy to be that, I'm into myself, narcissistic. It ruins a lot of relationships. When you're that narcissistic, and why you can't, he just needs to grow a pair, I think. I would appreciate Josh more if he grew a pair. And actually expressed what he was feeling instead of just hiding behind his feelings like a child. But that's me personally. Other people love Josh, and I kind of get it, but at the same time, I kind of don't. But we'll see. We'll see about that in later episodes. But of course, he tells her, "I never want to see you again. And if you come near me or anyone in my family, I'm gonna call the police. The police, don't ever try talking to me again. I never want to see you again." And of course, this leaves Rebecca heartbroken, and she feels like an utter failure, and just this. I think I have a feeling I'm missing a song from this episode, so let me looking. Sheesh, my lighting just went crazy right there. Do. Oh, okay. Yeah, I am missing one, but it's because it's the end of the episode. So, of course, Rebecca feeling hopeless. Go. I can't believe I almost forgot about this scene because it's this scene like hella, oh my god, really? Really? So Rebecca goes to this dive bar, and here's a little hint of Greg and Rebecca. Rebecca, they actually give us the down low about what Greg's been up to, which I'm excited about because I miss Greg and God, how I love Santino so much. So Greg butt dials Rebecca, which is actually kind of funny. But at that moment, I'm all like, oh my god, is she gonna talk to Greg? They don't even need the actor for Greg there. They could have at least had a conversation for Greg and Rebecca, which I'm a little bit concerned about because they said that, like, whenever they were doing interviews for season 3, they said that Greg was gonna be an important part of season 3. So I'm wondering if we're actually gonna get a thing with Greg in it. I'll talk more when I'm talking about more theories for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but Greg butt dials her, and of course she's distraught, and other stuff going, Greg, I'm here, and other stuff, and then she hangs up, and then she talks to the bartender like, oh, it's just some guy I knew. Usually in times like this, he would be the one to make me feel better. And I'm just all like, oh, Greg and Rebecca. Like, how much she actually appreciates Greg for what he was doing, trying to help her. I appreciated that we got at least a brief nod to Greg and how he really did help Rebecca for what she was going through. I appreciated that. I liked that 100%. And I hope that Greg is more a part of the season, next half of the season, but we'll see. So she turns around and she sees Greg's father, of all people, in this dive bar, and she goes to talk to him, and we get a little taste about what's happening of Greg back in Emory, I think he is a college he's attending. So we get a little taste of that. We know that Greg is doing well. He's doing well in his classes. He's finally happy. He's, I think, quit the alcohol, which I appreciate because Greg was having a problem with being an alcoholic there in season 2. So that's good. And he's apparently dating someone new. And then, of course, Rebecca's all like, oh, what's her name? And then his father's like, I'm not telling you that. Greg is finally happy for once in his life. Please let him be happy. Which, I'm just over here like, no, my Greg and Rebecca ship is sinking. But, I could deal with it. And then, of course, Greg's father gives her hope about how she's a sexy smart broad, and she could find any guy she wants to, and she'll find someone that someday. And of course, Rebecca has sex with Greg's dad, of course, severing the tie with Greg forever. Which, that's gonna be very awkward if Greg does come back and they have a conversation about her screwing his dad. It's gonna be very weird, but if they do bring Greg back, I hope that's a conversation that they're gonna have. Maybe they'll have it, but I don't know. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. So, of course, we get, the movie is over, or I think that's what it's called. No, it's called The End of the Movie, which Josh Groban sings, and I think it's very weird that he was singing this song. He just comes out of the blue. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see about that. That in a later episode. But he comes out of the blue, starts singing it. Rebecca's depressed. And then the last part of this episode is Rebecca going back to her mom. Her mom, because she's given up. Given up, per se. And she told her mom, yeah, I'm coming back home. You win. And yada yada. Which segues us back into the next episode. Things I want to briefly mention about episode 4 is I'm glad that her friends decided to do the search party, and I appreciate the fact that they did do the Daryl and White Josh thing where they addressed that White Josh doesn't want to have a baby with Daryl. Like, comes out and he says it, which I'm glad he finally admitted it to him. They might break up. I'm not 100% sure. I hope not. I do adore them as a couple. And then we got Heather and Hector hooking up, which I don't know where that's going, but it's going somewhere. I know it's going somewhere with those two. And Paula spending more time with her family. I do appreciate how her family band together and play that board game with her. That was really cute. I like seeing more scenes of Paula and her family because we don't get to see Paula's family a lot. So I appreciate that one. So now moving on to episode 5. This one I'm going to discuss the least. Because it didn't really have a lot of things going for its episode until the very ending. So we have 2 sides of this story. We have 3 sides. We have what's happening with Paula and her family on one note. We're having how the office is coping with Rebecca no longer being there. On one hand, and on the other hand, we have what's going on with Rebecca and her mom. So I'm gonna explore each aspect of this, starting out with Paula and her family, what's happening with them. So Paula takes in vacation days because, of course, she's starting to miss Rebecca, and it's her and Rebecca's friend anniversary, and she's missing Rebecca something fierce. So her husband makes the family play this board game that they absolutely hate, but Paula loves them playing it, and I just adore those scenes because her family is trying. Here, it's like, hey, our mom we might not feel like our mom's the best mom out there, and she drives us crazy, but she's still our mom at the end of the day, and we don't want her to be sad. Or unsatisfied, or whatever. And, I appreciate that. And then, of course, they go to that spa, and then they run into Daniel and everyone bothering this new chick that arrived at the office. Which we'll get to. That's really funny. But we'll address the office thing next, because, of course, Rebecca turned in her notice that she was no longer going to work there because her mom not forced her to quit, but said is trying to get her job back in New York, trying to get her life back on the track that she wants Rebecca to be on, even though it's not the best for Rebecca. Rebecca says she sends in her 2 weeks notice, and Nathaniel gets a 2 weeks notice, so he has to hire someone else for Rebecca's position. So he hires this new girl. I think her name is Tiffany. Not sure. We'll call her Tiffany because she's only in it for like 1 episode. It is for 1 episode. So what happens is this new girl arrives to the office. They treat her as if she's Rebecca. Daryl is trying to get advice about his relationship. The girl whose name I almost always forget with the long black hair. Black hair and glasses. Great addition, by the way. I love this new character a lot. Almost as much as I love Nathaniel. Nathaniel's a new addition. But she tries to get along with the feminist side of things. And Mr. Hernandez in this episode just telling her to shut up was kind of funny, but at the same time, Mr. Hernandez could be a bitch sometimes. So we have that aspect going on, and then Nathaniel's trying to treat her like a normal coworker, and then this one guy who, has he showed up before? Because I've never seen him. Maybe I haven't taken notice. I think his name is Jeff. So Jeff is basically just trying to hit on her and other stuff. And it's all like, oh god. They're treating her as if she's the new Rebecca, and Nathaniel's trying to keep it professional until the very end. End of things, and, she's how they tried to incorporate her as if she's Rebecca, and making it more about Rebecca than anyone else. It was kind of funny, but at the same time, they drove her away, and I'm like, okay, well, that happens. So Nathaniel takes this new girl out to check out a resort, so they don't get sued for something? Not having a mountainside view or something? And during this girl does this One Piece thing, which, oh my god, breaks Nathaniel down. I was like, oh, I know it's more of a funny breakdown to people, but I was so going like, oh my god, no, not my baby. Not my baby, because he finally breaks down and is really stating how much to this new girl who has no idea who Rebecca is how much he misses Rebecca. Rebecca, like, yeah, this girl that used to work at the office that everyone's all uppity about, she wouldn't have came out in this one piece. She would have, came out in a two-piece that her breasts would probably spill out of, and she wouldn't be unprofessional. She'd be making all kinds of sexual innuendos while busting out into songs. And being highly unprofessional, and yet and then he starts listing all these other things about Rebecca, and starts crying. It's like, I never get this emotional, and I don't know why I'm doing it. But she just left. And can we address the beginning of the episode where Nathaniel is hugging Rebecca's stuffed alligator, waiting for her to come home? Like, he has literally been in that apartment, waiting for Rebecca to come home. For God knows how long she's been out. And that was just so touching to me. Like, Nathaniel actually cares about her. But we'll address Nathaniel in the 6th episode as well. So I'm glad I found that. And then we have the songs, which I'll get to. But I want to explore the whole not Rebecca and Paula. Nathaniel and Paula addressing how much they miss Rebecca, but they gotta move on with their lives. Because she's not ready to come back in until she is. They have to live their lives and not be so obsessed with Rebecca. And I'm just over here like, okay, they're getting into really heavy topics lately. And they're showing them more deep side to Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I'm like, oh god, where is this going? But more addressing the other facts. We have Rebecca's side of things. Rebecca is back in, I think it's Scottsdale. I'm not 100% sure where it is, with her mother. And at first her mother is acting horrible to her. Her saying she's got to get her job back, and how she can't control her life anymore, that she has to do it for her because she's incapable of putting her life together. But during all this, when Rebecca is basically just watching television and acting depressed and other stuff, and other stuff. She steals Rebecca's laptop to see what she's looking at, because at first we just think she's maybe looking up Josh stuff. Just up until we see the deeper side that she's really searching painless ways to kill herself online. So after that, her mother's mood changes drastically. She starts being nice to Rebecca, starts hanging out, and then the thing that I really detested about how her mother decided to handle the situation was that she was basically force-feeding Rebecca's pills by crushing them into her milkshake. Her pink milkshake, which I kind of figured that her mom was probably drugging her because, oh, keep on having these shakes. That's not like a normal thing to do, especially for Rebecca's mom, so I knew something had to be up with that. So that happened, and then yeah, she finds out that her mom has been, like, Audra comes by when they're playing Twister or something, totally puts doubt in Rebecca's mind about her mother, to where she searches her mom's room, finds the pills, and confronts her mother about giving her pills. Her pills, saying she can't fix this, and even though she tried, it still didn't work, and yada yada about that. And then she decides to leave her mother and get on a plane. And this has got to be the most soul-crushing moment in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend that I've ever had. It's just, why? So it gets to where Rebecca is on the plane, and she's freaking out about going back to California, but she has really no option, and she's getting anxious and telling the flight attendant, "Are you sure you can't just land me on a patch somewhere, or take me to turn around and take me to another airport, because I don't want to go back to California. I'm not sure even why I got on this plane in the first place." And she's getting very anxious about it. And flight attendant says, "Well, you could try booking a flight when you're back in California and go to somewhere else, but how about I give you, like, this scotch or something?" So she's all like, "Alright, sure." So Rebecca gets a scotch, and then she looks at the pills that her mother gave her, that she took from her mother, and it only says take one pill a day. And this is where things get really heavy, because then Rebecca pops the handful of pills, and she, like, keeps digesting them, keeps swallowing them, and it's crushing to me, because handling a topic like suicide is very emotionally draining. So I was trying not to cry at work while watching her suicide attempt, and then she was looking at like, whenever Rebecca briefly wakes up from her nap, from her pill-induced coma thing, like when she's starting to go out of it, like her vision gets blurry and stuff, like she sees the help sign twice, and then the help sign turns into hope, which is a very great message to send, that there is always hope, even when you're feeling helpless. So she dials the flight attendant, and the flight attendant asked if there was anything that she could get her, and then she's all like, "I need help," showing her the pill bottle, and the flight attendant's face just changes, like, oh shit, I need to give this woman help. And that's when it ends, and I'm really glad that they ended the episode with the suicide prevention hotline. online, like, they're using social media to get out that number a lot more now. Like, if you guys haven't heard 1-800 by Logic, I suggest you go listen to that song, because it's a very prominent song about this issue, and it's like, I like how they're drawing more attention to, like, you don't have to feel this way. There is hope, even when you feel hopeless, and yeah, very important message. So we'll get on to the next episode after I discuss these two. So we have the song called this Maybe She's Not Such a Heinous Bitch After All, which was kind of funny. It reminded me a lot of Hairspray mixed in with Be My Baby. Maybe, so that's a nod. And then we have I Have a Feeling This Isn't About Me, which was sung by Tiffany, and it was a lot like a Jamaican vibe. I liked it, but not my favorite song. So I'm gonna actually cut this video short, because I think the next, I know I said I'd be discussing episode 6 in this video, but I'm running out of time because my camera can only record so much. So I'll see you in discussing episode 6. But I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!